What is going on, everybody? Welcome into this gorgeous Monday, November 28th, 2022 edition of the Energy Newsbeat Daily Stand-Up. I am your humble correspondent, Michael Tanner, coming to you from an undisclosed location here in Dallas, Texas, joined by the executive producer of the show, the purveyor of the show, and the director and publisher of the world's greatest website, EnergyNewsbeat.com, Stuart Turley. My man, did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I got sick, so other than that, not a problem.
Oh, well, we appreciate it. We hope you feel better, but it'll be a great week. Excited to have everybody back. We really hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving, and we're back on the grind. I mean, we've got some heavy hitters coming up. I mean, if you were looking at oil and gas prices over break, it was fairly depressing. Oil down to $76, natural gas about $7, but looks to be trading down somewhere around $6.80 when the market opens as we record this Sunday afternoon about 4:25. So bearish fundamentals all around, but I actually do think on the nat gas side there is some bullishness, and we'll cover all that. But first, Stu's got some really happening on Wednesday. Really good energy rant by Tucker Carlson, and really it comes down to prosperity and how people prosper. Stu will cover all that. China is doubling down on coal-fired power plant capacities. Stu's got an angle on that. This one shocked me. U.S. nuclear reactors among the oldest in the world. Turns out we're the third oldest. I'd move quickly. He'll cover that. I think the biggest story, which I've got a lot to say on, is the U.S. temporarily issuing Chevron a license to pump oil from Venezuela. You've heard me right. Venezuela will now be pumping oil, and Chevron will be doing it. And finally, if you weren't scared enough, the diesel crunch is finally causing demand destruction. Stu, I don't even know where to begin. I'm turning it over to you. Where do we start?
Let's start with Tucker. I saw this bad dog Friday night, and I got to hand it to Tucker Carlson. He's one of the few, Gutfeld and Carlson, that's the only two I watch on Fox. But when Tucker really hit it out of the park, he's talking about energy drives the entire economy. And Michael, that's what I was saying is let's reduce the interest rates and just get the energy policies fixed. He basically said the same thing. So I think Tucker heard one of our episodes. So, I think we provided him with all that information. But he had some things in here that were absolutely wonderful. When he said, in a nation with the largest recoverable oil reserves, this is Tucker talking in the script, in a nation with the largest recoverable oil reserves on planet Earth, many Americans can no longer afford fossil fuels. And once again, this is not an accident. It's a natural cycle we're going through. Politicians and policymakers are doing it to us on purpose. That's criminal. Anyway, there's a lot to it. It's on the Newsbeat and the film. So the film's on there, so it's worth going to EnergyNewsbeat.com and taking a look at that one. So that feeds into our other one with Venezuela. So let's jump over to the article is U.S. closer to issuing Chevron a license to pump oil in Venezuela, part of the U.S. dumpster fire on energy policies. This is just ridiculous. Okay. Venezuela has lost so much production ability, it will take them 10 years to rebuild their infrastructure. So why is the Biden administration thinking that they can say, we are going to go let Chevron, and Chevron's not real excited about this, because about the money that it's going to take to go in there. So this is another example of Biden going out, and the fist bump and infamy just drives me nuts when he was over there begging for oil. We got the greatest people on the planet ready to drill and solve the problems. Just get the handcuffs off them.
And the most environmentally friendly drillers are here in America. Let me find you at. Here's my thing. I love the quote in the article. And again, all of these articles you guys can check out, www.energynewsbeat.com. For this reason, Chevron CEO Mike Wirth recently estimated it would take months and years in order to begin to maintain and refurbish fields and equipment and change any investment activity. For this reason, many are seeing the White House conditional 6-month as license as a complete unrealistic timetable and constraint. Just when they actually try to do something good, increase the supply of oil, they issue a temporary license to go produce oil and gas from a country that all of that money is going to go to a dictatorship. It's not like the money's going to get spread around and all of a sudden new hospitals are going to get built. We're going to see all this new economic activity. No. It's going to go straight into the pocket of that regime. Okay. Fair enough. Shut down operations, but then you can't just, it's all politics. It drives me insane. Cause as you said, there's so many things we could be doing here. We could be drilling. We could be doing a lot more. Instead, we're probably going to have windfall taxes. We're going to cap the price of Russian oil. It's, as you said, Stu, this, in my opinion, is not criminal, but it's the
dumpster fire of the Biden energy policies. Unbelievable.
It really is. All right, what's next?
Okay, that fits along with our next story. If anybody can, our regular customers, our regular listeners can tell that I have all these stories that weave a path or they're all connected when we talk about it. This one fills in with the same thing. There's been a lack of money in maintenance or a lack of commitment, just as there is a lack of commitment in Venezuela for drilling. Here's this one, Michael. You and I were laughing about this one right before the show. And the United States is number 3 with the oldest reactors in the world. We have 92 reactors, and they're the oldest in the world.
They're the third oldest. Title of this article is "The U.S. Nuclear Reactors Are Among the Oldest in the World." Oh my goodness. And they have this list here. So Switzerland, oldest at 46.3, but they only have 4 reactors. Belgium comes in at number 2. Their reactors are 42.3 years of age, right, but they have 7. Coming in at number 3, as you mentioned, Stu, 41.6 years old, 92 reactors. I would move ASAP if I was near one of these old school hydrogen bombs.
And France has got 56 in their nuclear fleet.
Yep, and there's a 37.1. Oof.
Yeah, 37.1. Here's the gotcha. France, because of the, I'm for lack of a better word, the Green New Deal. How do you say Green New Deal in French? Hey, I have no idea.
It sounded more Spanish to me, but you get credit for the attempt.
Actually, who knows? When we go through and we take a look at France, France has put no money in maintenance, absolutely no money, because they thought they were going green everywhere. So everybody was saying France is the poster child of nuclear. They've got 56 nukes. Michael, how many can they use?
Yeah, probably not that many. I mean, I don't know. Do you have?
They're less than half. Less than half of the reactors are capable of being used. What does that mean? That means that they're having to really look for the resources. There's 2 other articles that fall in with this we don't have time to cover, but Norway, last week we talked a little bit, is doing really well, but they're going to be pulling back their natural gas and everything because Norway is rich in energy and they're rightfully going to watch out for themselves. So France is in a little bit of trouble, just like Germany now, because of bad management. So, the other article I was reading today was, if you're going to retire, Michael, go to Norway. I'm in. Okay. So you and I are moving.
Soon you'll be coming from Norway.
I am. Okay. And then the diesel crunch is finally here's where it gets a little funny. Demand destruction is kicking in, and we had a buildup the last month. It was the lowest diesel amount that we had since 1951. So that's not very much. We're still at about $5.35. However, the numbers are showing that even with demand destruction, it is going to remain high. The refineries are able to sell their diesel across the pond, even with transport, more than $5.30. So I also saw in some places in California $7 diesel. You and I have talked about before, this could be fixed. Yeah, $7 diesel is not good for Amazon.
No.
Think about them trucks and everybody else that gets a little spoiled. You and I have talked about this quite a while. I bet demand destruction still will not long term have a negative impact. Short term, yes.
Well, and as you've aptly mentioned multiple times, demand destruction is worse than oversupply or undersupply. It's much easier to fix that than it is fix systemic demand problems. So, unfortunately, we're beginning to sound like a broken record, but unfortunately, we report the news. That's all we do is report the news, folks. It is what it is. We've got one more here. Oh, great. Another doozy. China back on coal. What's this one?
No. China, we talked about it last week, but it surfaced again because they are now going to why are we even in the Paris Accord when we're the cleanest country in the world? And China is now building, they're going to double their coal plants in the next few years. I'm serious. The quote that I need to read in here was absolutely hilarious. Let me get that quote.
You didn't print them today. You're going green on us.
I love me some green. I want everybody to know, I don't care what we use. Let's use the lowest cost energy. I mean, you're tired of me saying that. The article is called China to Double Coal-Fired Plants in Capacity Aims to Avoid European U.S. Blunders, Send Climate Protesters to China for a Glue Party. That I like. So instead of it getting, glued to the runway or glued to a thing, let's send them to China where it's really pollution if you're going to try to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the sad facts that we outsource our pollution to China and other countries to dispose of them because they don't necessarily care as much as we do. So am I shocked that China is going back on coal? No, but it's just another, unfortunate point about the current mix of energy in the world.
And the reason that there was a quote in here I'm looking for, Michael, that was just absolutely a hoot. And it's part of the thing up there. And they do not want to make the mistake Germany had made. And you and I have talked about California. There is the Germany, which kind of failed. And then you have California that followed everything Germany did. So anyway, personal opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it's
I don't think
the issue is you're probably not wrong, even if it is an opinion.
Michael, I don't get to see you speechless very often.
No, it unfortunately happens too much, though. Hey, so is that everything? Is that
there's
everything?
One other article on there that I want to go over with you tomorrow. And it was Exxon is now saying it may not be as good of a buy right now. And I've been seeing some updates on that. And so I'd like to get ready for that one tomorrow and get your opinion on Exxon.
Well, I mean, this blends right into, oil's currently trading at 76.55 right now,
right?
Set to open 76.28. I mean, wasn't it supposed to be $120 according to Goldman Sachs? According to Stu, according to Goldman Sachs, according to Stu, according to everybody I know, it was going to be $120 by the end of the year. I mean, you don't have that much time left, folks. You've got 30 days left here for oil. As I mentioned, currently trading 76.55. I mean, you're talking about light holiday trading. That's probably what drove it down. We were up to a little below $80 right before the start of Thanksgiving.
What is Brent? Brent was 94.
Brent's currently 85.15. So, I mean,
yeah.
Let's see what happens with this Russian oil price cap. That's sort of the news right now. It doesn't look like they're really even able to agree upon a price. Again, I think the markets are going to have a mixed reaction with this price reduction. I actually think when it's implemented, you might see the price initially fall a little bit like they want. But I do think in the long term, when supply and demand not balance each other out, but sort of get into more of a steady flow, once this price cap is intact, I do think you'll see prices rise in the long term. But it doesn't beat the fact that the Bears have been winning. And I think there's a whole host of people that, I'm not saying they need to eat crow now, but need to start warming to the idea that they're going to do that, because the way the markets look now, I don't see any way oil makes it to $120 before the end of the year without something just absolutely crazy happening. Tactical nuke in Ukraine, which I hope doesn't happen, but crazy, someone nukes Saudi, or I don't know. I hope that doesn't happen, but if it gets to 120 at this point, something extraordinary has happened, and you'll hear about it all on here. But
Goldman Sachs put out today that said we are still in a bear market. Do not expect that this little bump that's happening is the bottom. They're saying we ain't at the bottom.
Yeah, and if the overall market tanks, guess what? Oil prices are going down. Sorry, guys. It just is what it is. It's not, oil prices are not going to just spike all of this, because just trust me, it's not going to happen. So it's going to be very interesting, Stu. It's going to be very spicy what happens. Oil companies, it's easy to say oil's $100. It only ain't $100. Oil's $76. There's a little difference between all that. So, hang with us here on the nat gas side. Again, we've got some both bullish and bearish weakness. Part of the reason why we're down to $6.80 up from around $7 or $7.40 is mainly due to the EIA on Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving. They went ahead and dropped their weekly storage. We only saw an 8 BCF draw, which I mean is a big draw, but we were expecting somewhere in the higher 80s. Even a couple of firms had 90. So that sort of miss of expectations is sort of what brought markets down. Again, light trading over this holiday weekend. So again, that leads into just sort of some bearish weakness. Hopefully as you're listening to this on your commute here, oil prices and natural gas prices have found a little bullish momentum forward, but especially on the natural gas side, weather forecast, we're in our third straight El Nino, which means prices or weather this summer winter is going to be fairly cold. They're expecting latest nat gas weather, which drops every Wednesday or every day at the end of the market. Their last report was on Wednesday, specifically focuses on it's much, the outlook for the entire winter has turned much colder over the past few weeks, considering this is the third straight El Nino or La Nina. I forget which one it is, but the one that makes the winters cold, guys. So that's, I think, part of the reasons why there's some more bullish factors on the natural gas side. Also in the fact that we will be drawing natural gas just systemically because we're now in heating season. So I think those two factors combined paint a much more bullish picture for natural gas than crude oils do. I don't see how crude oil gets above 90 by the time, if I had to put a bet on whether oil's 60 or 100, I'd put my money on 60 before I'd put my money on 100. And what about you?
I'll bet you for cold hard cash $1, because I think it's going to the 100.
Okay. Well, it might go to 100, but I think we'll see 60 before we see 100. So it may have to take a little bit southern dip, but hopefully we see 100. Hopefully I'm paying you $1.
I will do that. I will drive down there. Oh, I'm here.
You're everywhere and nowhere at the same time. What should people be looking for today and this week?
Well, it's going to be a little bit of a slow week at the beginning, and hearing some rumblings around Europe on this price cap. And sanctions don't work. Price caps don't work. But as they start rolling out and some issues, that will impact the prices. So we just need to watch and see how it plays out.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's gonna be very interesting to see what happens with this price cap. I'm looking mainly for natural gas, see some more bullish signs, especially as we get into these later weeks here. Crude oil, who knows? It's a crapshoot, honestly, right now. So, take your bets. You see where we lie. The question is, where do you lie?
We want to hear.
Yeah, we want to hear. If you guys got your predictions, let us know. Drop it in the comments. We appreciate all the positive feedback we've gotten. But I think with that, Stu, we're going to let these people get out of here, finish up their morning, and let them get back to work. Thank you for checking us out, guys, on the Energy News Beat Daily Stand-Up. For Stuart Turley, I'm Michael Tanner. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Today's episode of the Energy Newsbeat podcast is brought to you by Inveris. The energy industry faces massive challenges every day, and the events over the last 2 years have caused huge disruptions like never before. Companies in the energy industry need actionable intelligence and a single source of truth that brings all the data together. Inveris is the energy specialized technology partner that provides intelligent connections for a global energy ecosystem. Only Inveris has the analytics, people, experience, and industry scope to connect the right data and information in the right way to discover missed opportunities and deliver fast outcomes. Find out more at Inveris.com. That's ENVERUS.com.